Hi students, welcome back to the online English classes. This video is for class 5 and today we are going to continue with our discussion on the first chapter of the 5th unit from your NCERT book. As you already know, the name of this chapter is The Lazy Frog. We have already discussed the first part of it in the previous video. Today we are going to continue with the second and the last part of this poem. Alright, so before starting the discussion of the second part, let us first have a look at all the things that we learned in the previous video. At first we saw that there is a frog, a lazy frog whose name is Fred. Okay. Then we saw that he lies around lazily the whole day and the place where he lies is a log of wood. Then he always escapes from the work he has been given. Even when his mother calls him, then also he escapes from that work. At last we saw his mother asks him to help, but he does not move from his place. Alright, and he pretends to be deaf. He lies there in a silent heap and stays conveniently asleep. Okay, students, so let us first talk about the first line. He lies there in a silent heap. Okay, so we understand the meaning of all the words, but let us see what is the meaning of the word heap. You can see in this picture, there is a heap of bricks. Okay, and the meaning of the word is a collection of objects placed untidily on top of each other. Okay, so you see here, the bricks have not been arranged properly and they are just, like in a very untidy manner, they have been put on top of each other. So this is what a heap means. Now you have to understand that the heap of bricks that we just now saw and Fred, the lazy frog, they're not the same thing. Okay, so you have to imagine and you have to understand the meaning here in this way that Fred lies there in a silent heap, just like a heap of bricks keeps lying down in a place without making any noise, without making any movement. Like if you are standing beside a heap of bricks, would you even know about its presence? You can just see it, but can you hear it? Can you see it walking or moving anywhere? You cannot. Just like that, Fred also remained in a silent heap. Nobody would understand that there is a frog which is lying there. Nobody could understand. He was so very lazy. He so much refused to move that it looked that he is a kind of heap which is silent and stays conveniently asleep. Okay, so conveniently is quite a complicated word. I expect you to write it down in your vocabulary copy. Okay, and practice the spelling of this word because you may make mistakes in this. But let us see what this word means. So, the word conveniently comes from the word convenient. Okay, this is a kind of adverb. So, you already know in adverbs we add ly with the existing words. Yes, so here also this is the way in which we have got the word conveniently. Something that involves little trouble. Okay, so something that is convenient means that it means it gives you no trouble. You don't have to work hard for it. You don't have to give a lot of effort for it. Okay, so when it is said that he stays conveniently asleep, it means that he is sleeping, and you see sleep is always convenient if you have a good bed and there's if you have a comfortable bed to sleep on, your sleep will be convenient. So now Fred does not have a bed. He lies down on the log every time. So that is where he sleeps conveniently without any disturbance, without any trouble. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last to bow and help her on her way. Alright students, let us see the picture of the lady frog first. Okay, so this is a picture where you can see two frogs. One of them is Fred. You already know him because you have seen his picture multiple times. And the other frog is the lady frog. You can easily identify with the help of her clothes. Okay, so just see Fred's reaction. And when this lady frog has hopped past by him, and just see what he is doing, he's just busy in his sleep. He just doesn't want to look up, he just doesn't want to open his eyes and help her out. If a lady frog hops past, now students, another thing. Why do you think the word hops is written here? Why is it not walks? It is because it is a frog that we are talking about. If it had been a human being, then we would have definitely said walked, but frogs only hop, right? That is why it has been said as lady frog hops. You'd think he would get up at last to bow. Okay, now let us see what bow means. A bow is to bend the body as a sign of respect. In the picture you can see, students, there is probably this person is a magician. He has done his tricks and he's on the stage, and now he is thanking everybody by taking a bow. Now many of you have done this. Those of you who have participated in the annual function of our school, you must have, if you have participated in anchoring or things like that, you must have taken a bow at the end. Yes, so that is what a bow means. So you see, the poet is saying that when a lady frog is hopping by him, what would you expect him to do? You would expect him to take a bow and help her on her way. Yes, that is what gentlemen do, and good frogs also do. But our Fred is not like that. Why? See what he does next. But no, I am ashamed to say that when a lady frog comes by, he does not open up one eye. So he just doesn't care who has walked past him. He just doesn't care about that. It may be his mother who calls him. He doesn't pay attention to her. It may be a lady frog who has hopped past him. He still doesn't care about her. So no matter what is happening, this little frog of ours, Fred, he doesn't care to open his eyes. He loves to remain in his sleep. All right, students, now look at the end. The word anonymous is written. Okay, so this is the place where you have seen that the name of the poet and the poetess is written always. But in place of that, why is it written anonymous? Let us see why. Okay, students, so the word anonymous means someone whose name is unknown. Now, you see, this poem must have been written by somebody. Some person must have written this, but we don't know the name of this person. That is why the word anonymous has been used. You see, in case of poems like The Ice Cream Man, it was Rachel Field. In case of Teamwork, it was Jan Negro. All right. So, in this case, since the name is not known, who has written this poem, that person's name is not known, this is why the word anonymous has been used. Just like the previous video, let us once again have a look at some rhyming words, and I hope you already know what rhyming words are. He lies there in a silent heap and stays conveniently asleep. So, heap and asleep have almost a similar sound. This is why they have been put in pink colored boxes. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last. So, past and last are again similar. That is why green box. He lies there in a silent heap and stays conveniently asleep. So, heap and asleep have almost a similar sound. This is why they have been put in pink colored boxes. If a lady frog hops past, you'd think he would get up at last. So, past and last are again similar. That is why green boxes. To bow and help her on her way. But no, I'm ashamed to say. Way and say are similar. This is why we have put them in red boxes. That when a lady frog comes by, he does not open up one eye. So now again we have put these words in purple boxes. So you see, students, all the rhyming words that you had seen in the previous video and the ones that you saw in this video, you can write these down in your copy. Now, let us have a quick recap of all the things that we discussed in the second part of this video. Fred is so lazy that he refuses to get up when his mother asks him for help. We already saw that. We discussed about this in the previous video as well. Yes? When a lady frog passes by, he remains asleep. So, what would you expect a gentle frog to be behaving like? You'd expect him to get up and take a bow and help a lady. But this frog of ours, he is so lethargic and he's so very lazy that he remains asleep even when a lady frog passes by. At last we saw that the poet feels ashamed of the lazy frog's behavior. Yes, why does he feel ashamed? Whether it is he or she, we still don't know, because as I already said, the poet, or we don't know the name of this person who has written this, but whoever has written this feels ashamed of the frog's behavior. Now it's time for some questions and answers. Question number 1. What is Fred expected to do when a lady frog passes by? So what is the good behavior that is expected from a gentleman or a good frog? It is, when a lady frog passes by, Fred is expected to bow her and help her on her way. So do you think he does that? No, he doesn't do that. Question number 2. Reference to context. Remember, we discussed about this in the chapter My Elder Brother. Reference to context, these kind of questions can also come in a different way, where the question would be, read the extract carefully and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so here, what is the sentence? Come in and help. Who? Now see, question number A. What is written here? Where is the above quoted line taken from? Answer. The above quoted line is taken from the poem The Lazy Frog. Question number B. Who is the speaker of the above quoted line? Fred's mother is the speaker of the above quoted line. C. Who has been asked to help? Answer. Fred has been asked to help. So students, the questions that were given in the previous video and the questions that have been given in this video, you need to practice them so that you can get thoroughly prepared for your pre-mid exam. And you also need to read the chapter very carefully, because reference to context questions can come from anywhere. Alright students, with this we come to the end of our discussion of the poem The Lazy Frog. So keep studying hard now that your exams are almost knocking on the door. Alright, stay safe and goodbye.